Good afternoon, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns. I want to welcome all my new viewers and those of you that have stuck with me for the longest time ever. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're just seeing this for the first time, please give me a thumbs up, like the video, and of course, I'd love for you to subscribe. And when you subscribe, remember to hit the bell and choose all if you want all the notifications, or personalize it, or none if you choose. I'll be sad, but it'll be okay. We'll all get through this. Now that we're all quarantined for the next, 3 weeks, there's lots of videos showing you how to make a surgical mask cover, and yes, that's one of my finished makes, but I will tell you this finished make was doing a news, and as I was doing her pattern, I was changing it up because she used DK weight yarn, and I had a worsted weight, and it doesn't fit properly, so I was playing around with it. I'm still playing around with it for a worsted weight to see if I can get it to a proper size. But other than that, it just means a few less stitches. Just haven't finished finessing it for myself. But I was doing that because I have a friend who, when she goes out, she has to, I'll give you an example. Generally, we meet up at the laundromat to do our laundry, and she wipes every surface down. She wipes down the machines. She wipes down the carts that she's using, the table that she's using, and she specifies, hangs on to that one cart and makes sure it's right by her so no one else touches it, because she has a severe immune deficiency. So she says, I get tired of going out with these masks because everybody looks at me funny, and she is the one that I am working on making some masks because I think she can use them over her mask, with some red ruby lips on one, mustache on another, smiley face, tongue sticking out, you name it. I'm going to have fun making her surgical mask. So, in our area, in an overabundance of carefulness, and that is some of what's going on, but it's a good thing. They are trying to stem the tide of the coronavirus because, everybody is worried about it. But there's one main reason you want to stem it and close everything off as far as you can, because any kind of virus, even the flu, what you see is this wave that comes up like this and then peaks. They are trying to stop the peak, is what they're trying to do. With quarantining, staying home, closing schools, limiting bars hours, limiting restaurants to pick up, those kind of things. So while it is scary, they are actually doing something that is good for us in the public so that we won't spread this among one another if we unwittingly get it. So my senior center and all of the ones with the STEP agency in Lycoming and Clinton County are closed starting this afternoon, and they will not reopen until April the 1st. So, and then it will, I'm sure, be on a one-to-one basis. They may decide to open them up a little later, but they're shooting for a date of April the 1st. So guess what? That gives me lots of time to sit at home, crochet, knit, get those projects over here to the side of the chaos chair done, as well as do some quilting that I've been wanting to do that I just haven't had time because I'm running here, there, whatnot. So I'm looking at it like it's a good thing. It'll allow me to do things that I've been wanting to do here at home, but just haven't had the time because I'm up and running all the time. And the one thing that I have decided to do is, that I am a contact with knitted knockers, and normally when someone contacts me, I will go out and deliver the knitted knocker. For the next couple of weeks, they will be mailed to them so that we don't have to worry about any face-to-face contact. That's not for me because, you know, I'm not really scared. I do practice some rather good hygiene when it comes to hand washing and those kind of things, so I'm not real concerned about it, but I want to ease those clients' fears, and you know, most of them I'm sure will be okay with that. So that's what we're doing, you know, for the couple of weeks. And I do want to tell you, when you see, this morning I was looking, I always go online, look at the news, and the WHO, the World Health Organization, and a lot of media is picking up on their article or their estimations, has put out this estimation of like 8 million people, 8 billion people around the world are going to get, you know, these crazy numbers. Folks, calm down. When they put those numbers out, that is an estimate if they can't nip this in the bud. That is a total estimate. Those aren't real numbers yet. So don't panic. Calm down. Take some deep cleansing breaths. And let's all get through this. So, yeah, my husband and I were talking about this morning, and, you know, some of the media is picking up on that, and it's rather irresponsible of them for doing that, because they aren't putting in context what those numbers represent. At least the articles I've read so far have not. So, let's calm down. The other thing is, you hear political pundits talking about ICU beds and ventilators and all of that. For about 75 to 80% of us, we may never need a ventilator if we do catch it. We all just may need some support, as in isolation, good hygiene, lots of fluids, and rest. Most hospitals have several levels of care. Number one is normally trauma or high risk ICUs. Number two is normally what is called a subacute unit. There are many people that may be in a subacute unit, not placed in an ICU, but many folks, if they're hospitalized, it may be because the doctors were concerned because they are at high risk anyway. So they may be on a regular floor, a regular hospital floor, to be watched so that if something happens and God forbid their respiratory gets into that pneumonia that is a dry pneumonia, which is really hard to take care of, that they can be placed in a subacute, an isolation room, and or, if they need be, put on a ventilator in the ICU. Many people who get this disease will never need a ventilator. So this is where I find the media and the political pundits irresponsible, because they are literally scaring us to death. But on a happier note, those of you that still use Ravelry, there are a ton of designers who are allowing you to either get all of their patterns totally free to work on during this time, and or one or two patterns totally free on Ravelry. Some of them have codes, some of them do not. So keep that in mind. And how do I know this? Because I don't use Ravelry? Well, I subscribe to a Facebook group called Shawl Makers that is run by Pam Scriber, I think is her name. And I've been part of this group for many, many years when it was on Yahoo groups. And she always scours the universe for free patterns and puts the links on there with code words for all of us to gather those patterns. So she is continuing to do that. And like I said, a lot of the designers are doing that. If you're part of my Facebook group for Scraptastic, you will know that I put up this morning the 2 patterns that I have totally written out that I normally charge $2 for on Etsy. They are totally free until April the 1st. But you gotta get them in the group. Yeah, I'm kind of sneaky that way. It's just having fun with it, guys. And here is where I want you to practice kindness. If you're not sick, and your neighbor still has to go to work, and they have children that need to be watched, consider offering that if their daycare closed down, or, their kids are in school while they're working, perhaps you could watch their kids for them. It's just an act of kindness. Another is, I have a neighbor down at the end of our apartment complex that's older. He gets Meals on Wheels. His sister comes to visit him. He doesn't drive a car. So we're checking on him. We're asking him if he needs anything. We'd be happy to go out and search if we need be. So let's take care of one another and practice a little kindness. Okay? I'm going to get a drink here. And now we're going to move on to some of my finished makes. And yes, I touched my face. As someone else I heard say today, get over it. I'm in my own home, folks. It's allergy season. Eyes are watery. I did get another hat finished, and this is a children's hat. And let me see. It is a knitted hat, and she has 2 patterns. Now, a lot of her patterns she does on a straight needles and then seams them up. But I always turn it into in the circular because my straight needles are over there and my circulars are right here. That's basically it. But this pattern is from smallfriendly.com, and if you will go there, you will see she has quite a few patterns. For a simple knit hat, you can look under her patterns. She also has a simple knit ribbed hat, and that is the only thing that I have looked at. She does have a YouTube channel. I'll have to go back and look and find the YouTube channel and put it in the links down below, where she teaches you how to make these hats. Pretty easy, pretty simple. They're just basic beanies, those kind of things. But, they tell us to wear our hats, so I'm going to put the hat on, even though this is made for a 7, 8-year-old, 10-year-old. The only thing is it's a little short. If I worked a little longer, it'd be big enough for me to wear all the time. But as you know, kids' heads are pretty close to adult size heads for many kids. And then, of course, there are some of us that have bigger heads than other people. Which I will tell you, I love Bag-O-Day's hat patterns. But I always find when I work them that they are way too big for me. So what I do is, when I'm doing the crown, working it with her, I use one of those hat sizing patterns, that tells you how big the circumference should be for certain sizes of hats, and then I work it down to the size that works for me. Does that mean Crystal has a big head? I don't know. Maybe she likes them loose. Maybe she's making them for Eric, her husband. I don't know. I just know that sometimes I'll work it up the first time, and sometimes they're too big for me. So one of the easiest ways to do that is just work it until it fits a certain circumference for you. Now, if I'm making it just to give out for charity, I will do that, make the hat that way, and then make smaller sizes by using the same principle for all of her patterns. It's real simple, it's real easy. Most of her patterns don't have a set number that you have to use. You can usually use the stitch, or you can fudge it if you have to. Now this next pattern I did get finished is the One Shabald by Marley Bird. I didn't use one, I used two. Almost two. I think I have about this much left. And since to me it's more like a DK instead of a size 4, I'm going to make a couple of surgical masks with that. Pretty. But I did enjoy the pattern, and this one, I'm going to be a little greedy. I'm going to keep it for myself. And you know that's not like me. Normally it all goes to charity, to the prayer shawl group, or somewhere else, someone who's put a call out for something. Now, this next one, I do not care for homespun, or as I call it, hellspun. However, I was given a bag with several skeins in it, and I have chosen to make an afghan. It is a granny square. I still have one more skein, and it's a little thicker, a little bulkier, so I'm going to turn it into hats. Okay. I gotta go get my sweater. Hang on, folks, I'll be back in a minute. As you can see, I have got my sweater finished. I'm going to move out a little bit. Ignore the mess. And this was the finished sweater. I did want shorter sleeves because I'm constantly pulling up sleeves. And let me take this off. And no, there was no pattern for it. But I will tell you what I did. I started out with just a big square because I originally was going to make it a pullover. And I had jokingly said when we were at the fire hall, senior center, I said, I'm making this just in time to where I won't be able to wear it at all. And of course, Vivian said to me, well, why don't you make it a cardigan? Well, Vivian, I didn't think about that. So I made it a cardigan. And basically I started with one big square that would fit across from shoulder to shoulder. Made it until it went down close to where I wanted it to be. And then the front is basically a half granny square. And the way that I did that is, you can see here where I had started the granny square. Let me find it. Can I find it now that I'm trying to find it? Of course not. Well, I'll tell you what I basically did. Instead of finishing off, when you start your granny square, you do the 4 clusters. I only did 3 clusters. And then I chained up 4, went into the next corner, put 2 corners in it. Didn't chain anything because I think when you add a chain in between, it makes it a little looser, and I just don't like that look. Then I went to the next corner, put 2 in it. Then I went down to the last one, and I actually did chain, I believe, 2 there. Don't quote me on this. I'll have to figure it out later. and did a chain, left a little bit of a chain, joined with a slip stitch to the top. Then I chained 2 and put in the 2 stitches in that chain place, and just kept going around back and forth like this to make my half square. Did get them the same size, and then I sewed them together up at the top and along the sides. And then I did my sleeves, where I just worked it in a granny stitch around the sleeve, decreasing as I went. And then when I got it to where I kind of liked it a little bit, then I stopped with this yarn, which was the Echo Red Heart with Love in Echo, and then I added charcoal for this part here and decreased, I think, 2 more times, and then just did 2 more rows and did a crab stitch around. Now the hardest part for this was actually realizing I was going to have to do some decreasing, because what I did once I got my square close to the size I wanted it, I actually started decreasing up the neck so that it had a little bit of decreasing there. It's the only thing I did. Did the same thing on the other side. And for those of you that have not ever done a crocheted granny square where you do decreasing, the best tutorial that I can tell you is Little John's Yarn. She has on her blog, she has an article about crocheting a granny square top, and I will link that down below. And I just used the information for decreasing for that. I didn't follow the rest of her pattern. Although she has a great pattern, I just didn't want to do that this time. Then the only thing I did otherwise is I added a couple of rows of double crochets on the bottom, and then I did the front of the sweater, just following the normal, what I started with. This was a half double crochet along all the edges, up around from the bottom around the neck to the other side, and then I just placed double crochets for a couple of rows. I don't plan on putting buttons on it. I didn't plan for it to meet. I just planned for it to be something that I would wear, as a just a pullover without any buttons. And like I said, I finished it off with a crab stitch all the way around. Easy peasy, right? It really is easy peasy. That's it for finished items. Now if you've stuck here long enough, we're having a little giveaway. There will be a couple more items, but this is the only part I'm going to show you. And it is the Charisma by Loops and Threads. And it is a number 5. It is a bulky. There are 5 skeins. There is one that does not have a ball band, but there are 5 that do. 4 that do. And this color is called Sunny Day, and that will be part of a giveaway. And what will the giveaway be? That, a couple other things that are going to be a mystery. It will run from today through April the 1st, 2020. And let's see. You got to be 18 to enter. We're going to do it worldwide, and I will announce the winner on April the 2nd, and at that time I will show you everything that you are going to get as part of this giveaway. And I think I want you to answer a question, and don't put giveaway in the comment. If you put giveaway in the comment, your comment will be deactivated and not eligible. What I want you to put in the comment somewhere is bunny ears. That's right, bunny ears. Why bunny ears? Well, you know, each year Prayer Shawl works with the bikers and they collect bunnies to hand out at Easter to kids that are, you know, in the hospital and different places like that, underprivileged kids. But this year, because of COVID-19, they have canceled it, and we are just going to store those bunnies and do it next year, because they won't have access to go into these different places to hand the bunnies out. So, why not bunny ears? And it has to be bunny ears. You can tell me what kind of bunny ears you like, if you're going to wear bunny ears, anything you like, as long as it's about bunny ears. Okay. Did I say it's open worldwide? Yes, it's open worldwide. Alright, we've had enough of this and all this doom and gloom. And I'm going to ask you. I asked you last time to put links for your favorite hat pattern, and everybody just commented about Bag a Day. I was hoping for you to put links down below so that other people could find different patterns to use. So since that didn't happen, I'm going to ask you again today. But I'm going to ask you for something different. I'm going to ask you for crocheted amigurumis that can be done in one day. Think about that, folks. Can be done in one day. So that means they're going to probably have to be very small. So, put a couple links down below in the comments. Not only bunny ears, but some patterns of amigurumi that you think can be done in one day. Okay? Easy peasy. And I will tell you, you know, yesterday I showed you this tea bag that we received from Nick Crate. Well, I got to wondering, because there's nothing on the tea bag tells me where it was made, and there's nothing that tells me it's not PBH free. Do you really want to put this in hot water? Do you know what it is? So yeah, I'm asking Nick Crate, where'd they get this? Where was it made? Is it safe to use in hot water? You know, because there are certain things that if you put the plastic in hot water, you leave your water bottle in your car and it gets too hot, it releases chemicals into the water that are cancer creating. So until I get some information, I for one am not using this tea bag. I know. I'm a little scared. Breast cancer was in my family. Can't blame me. Don't know what it was. May have been because she was a smoker, my mother. Then again, who knows? Plastics were starting to be used a lot then. Okay, what in tarnation? This is all about a lot of things. One of these is something you can apply for. And who knows, you might get a few dollars while we're all quarantined and staying safe at home. This first one has to do with kangaroos and toilet paper. What do kangaroos and toilet paper have to do with each other? Well, In Australia, a visitor to a campground in Australia captured video of a different type of toilet paper shortage. A kangaroo raiding rolls from the restroom. The filmer said they have been traveling through the country in a camper with their family for a year, and they were stopped this week at Wilpena Pound campground in South Australia. The video shows a kangaroo inside the campground's restroom eating toilet paper from a bathroom stall. Oh no. Maybe word of coronavirus has spread this far into the arid center of our country. Wilpena Pound is about 6 hours drive from South Australia coast. It's pretty dry, dusty, and fly-blown out here, and the kangaroo have become tame from interacting with terrorists, the filmer wrote. The filmer said the family talked to campground managers and learned they are planning to put a fence up next month to keep the kangaroos from raiding the toilet paper. But at the same time, with all the fires that were going on in Australia, maybe the kangaroos are having trouble finding food. And of course, there will be links below to the video and the story. Now, you want to earn a quick $1,000 watching movies? Company offers $1,000 to watch 10 movies. 10 on St. Patrick's Day. Think about that. Most movies are at least an hour and 45 minutes. It's probably about 15 to 16, maybe 18 hours of watching movies. Are you up to the challenge? A San Francisco career resource company is offering an unusual dream job of its own, getting paid $1,000 to spend St. Patrick's Day watching Irish movies. Zippy announced on its website that it is seeking an aspiring movie critic to spend St. Patrick's Day watching 10 Irish movies: My Left Foot, The Crying Game, Far and Away, Circle of Friends, Hunger, The Departed, Leprechaun, Waking Ned Devine, Angela's Ashes, and The Wind That Shakes the Barley. This should only take you about 17 hours and 23 minutes, leaving you plenty of time to go out and celebrate with your friends afterwards, the company said. The winning applicant will be required to write a 1,000-word summary of what they've learned about Irish culture from the movie marathon. The temporary movie critic will also receive a corned beef and cabbage meal for 4, a box of Lucky Charms cereal, a McDonald's gift card equal to the worth of 4 large Shamrock shakes, and a YouTube album of their choice. Better hurry. It's too late. The applications are already over. But I just thought it was a cute story. Applications were being accepted through March the 15th. Sorry, guys, but it was amusing, right? Who doesn't want a box of Lucky Charms cereal? And I will tell you, Anna of Adventures with Anna, we were joking about all the toilet paper shortage and everything. And she had put up in one of her claw machines a picture of her. She had placed a couple of rolls of the big, large ones that you see in restaurants and businesses into the claw. Now, they were too big to be picked up with the claw, but she was talking about doing that in, using some smaller regular toilet paper rolls to see if people could pick them up with the claw, like $1, However, there is someone who has actually done this. Claw machine toys replaced with toilet paper rolls amid the coronavirus fears. A British amusement arcade owner replaced the toys inside his business claw machines with toilet paper rolls amid shortages of the product. Eddie Chapman, owner of Chapman's Funland in Bridlington, East Yorkshire, England, said he decided to replace the toys in the claw machines with toilet paper rolls amid reports of shortages stemming from customers stocking up over coronavirus fears. Chapman told The Independent he had received fantastic feedback on the move from visitors to his arcade. Everybody that comes to it is laughing, he said. Meanwhile, Rob Braddock of Hobart's Amusement Arcade in Devon, England, made a similar move by replacing the toys in his claw machine with soap and hand sanitizers. Folks, we need to laugh our way through this. Why? Because when you get stressed, one of the hormones that is released in your body is cortisol. Yes. And what that does is that adds to your anxiety. It decreases your immune system, while laughter will help your immune system by leveling out those cortisol levels. So, have some fun laughing. This next story is about a family who accidentally ordered way too much TP. They accidentally ordered $2,153 worth of toilet paper. An Australian family who attempted to order 48 rolls of toilet paper online instead ended up with 48 boxes of bathroom tissue. And that was $2,153 worth of toilet paper. Haiti Janitsky of Toowoomba said her family had been ordering toilet paper 48 rolls at a time from an online company. Who gives a crap? I like that name. But she recently made an error while switching to a different variety of paper offered by the website. When it asked for quantity, I put 48, thinking that it would be a box of 48 rolls. Turned out it was 48 boxes. The courier man turned up at the door with 2 pallets of toilet paper instead of 1 box. Janetsky said she checked her credit card statement and confirmed she had shelled out $2,153.78 plus shipping for the massive haul of paper. She said the recent toilet paper shortages stemming from coronavirus concerns have simplified the process of getting rid of the rolls. The family has started selling the toilet paper at a slight markup to support a school trip for her daughter's class that they are planning. And there is, of course, a link to the video and the story. And perhaps there might be a link for you to purchase some. You never know. That is it for What in Tarnation. And I also have a couple of links that I'm going to put in for some shout-outs. The very first shout-out is Dr. John Campbell. He is a nurse who has a PhD, which gives him the title of doctor. But he does talk about a lot of different health issues and information, just in general. But this one is something that I think should go viral and everyone should know about. And it is how to properly wash your hands. So, The video that I'm linking to is his how to wash your hands. So, a lot of people think it's just quick, but it isn't. And my husband and I joke because we always wash our hands what we call the surgeon's hand wash, which is basically what you do before you move into surgery or move into, like I was, a NICU nurse. We would wash our hands that way, and then we followed up with a betadine wash with a scrub brush. So this will tell you how to do your hand washing properly and should help you for all kinds of things that can be spread. Learn how to wash your hands properly. The next is one for keeping it real. This is Leah and her husband, and she crochets. They do a lot of other videos, some of it about homesteading, I think. That's what I remember, I think. And I have watched videos from them, but somehow I have missed the crochet videos. So I decided, I'm going to go look at some of these people that I haven't looked at, for all their other videos that I catch here and there. And lo and behold, there's crochet. So Leah, check her out. The next one is Knit All the Yarn podcast. This is Lisa. I think she has somewhere between 700 and 800 subscribers. But check her out. I really enjoyed. She's been doing a lot of sock knitting. Now, I wear compression socks, so I don't wear a lot of socks. But that doesn't mean that the few times I did before I had to wear these, I didn't enjoy sock knitting. So I'm watching it through her. But she does have a lot of other videos about different items too as well. So check her out. And then there is Anna's Crafty Amore. Or maybe it's Amore. I believe she is Australian. And I believe this is the latest video that she put up. She actually shows her face for the very first time. It was great. She does have a couple of other videos. Like I said, she is in Australia. I have shouted her out before. And when I found her was when the fires were raging in Australia, and she had put up some video about some of the scenes there in her area. But now that things have calmed down a little bit in Australia, I'm hoping that Anna will be doing a lot more crochet and showing us a lot more of her activities and her crafts. So those are a couple. I think we should start looking around and see what else is available out there. I mean, we've got a couple of weeks at home. Let's check it out. And you know what I predict? A whole lot of lives, so we'll get to find a lot of other channels we haven't seen before. I'm looking forward to it while I'm knitting, crocheting, and sewing. Everybody have a great week, and please remember to choose kindness. And remember, don't put giveaway down in the comments below. It's bunny ears.